Let's find out what made our top 10 this year as we do our annual top 10 albums for 2019. So how this works is Caroline is going to tell us her favorite albums, and then I will do the same after you.
Okay. All right. So number 10 is Hunter Alive, I Decide.
All right. Local band from
Local
right here.
band,
Made
yeah.
your top 10.
Yeah, I really like this album. Again, it's like not my thing, the genre usually, but it was a really fun album, really good, really enjoyed listening to it. So they are on my list. Like I said when we reviewed it, I was shocked that they're like a local unsigned band.
Yeah, they definitely got to get on that group and sign them immediately. All right, so what's coming in at number 9?
All right, number 9, Joker's Republic, Falling Behind.
Another local band. Look at you supporting the scene.
I know. No, I really, really like this album. The songs were just like so much fun. And again, really energizing. I really like the singer's voice. It made me, remember when I listened to ska. And another one that I kind of was surprised that they're unsigned, that they're not like a bigger deal.
Yeah, whether it's the fact that they're playing ska music or it's just going to be time will tell, we'll find out. But Austin Gray is a really good lyricist. Some of the songs on there tackle social issues as well. So it's not all fun and games with the ska music they're playing. Yeah.
All right, number 8.
Yeah.
The Raconteurs, Help Us Stranger.
All right, Jack White's band finally came back 13 years later, probably. Yeah,
and I never listened to the White Stripes, so that's kind of weird that I'm only coming into this now in his side project after band or whatever it is.
Yeah. I like the fact that on that album there's another singer on there, guitarist, and he sings some songs too, and they have a really bluesy but garage rock sound similar to White Stripes, but at the same time it kind of branches out to this kind of vintage rock and roll of the 60s. Some Beatles songs they have here and there that you were saying they do even better than what the Beatles do in some cases. Cool.
Yeah. All right, number 7, Bayonne, Drastic Measures.
Bayonne, that was a band that was recommended to us, I remember, right?
Yeah.
It's the one dude with all the electronic sounds. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I loved it. It was really good. Each song was different and just really pulled me in.
Okay. I remember it was very soothing and interesting at times.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Okay.
Thank you. All right, number 6, Cage the Elephant, Social Cues.
I felt that was going to come on the list at some point.
Yeah, and this is another one. I think I'd listened to one song by Cage the Elephant in my life, and then when I listened to this album, I was like, why is this the first time I'm actually listening to them?
Yeah.
I liked it right off the bat, and I knew that it was going to be on my list.
Yeah.
It was just really catchy, and I like the singer's voice, and it was I remember becoming addicted to it very quickly.
They're the heroine of music for you.
They are.
Top 5 now, right?
Top 5. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Ghost Teen. I know everyone hated this,
including you,
and I didn't hate it. I have mixed feelings about it, but I do stand by what I said on the show. I think it is beautiful. I think it is sad. I think it is somber. It is depressing. And I still think it's a beautiful album, but a bit boring and a bit repetitive at times. But I still really liked it.
It's a grower, maybe?
It's a grower.
Or it's a grower / you got to be a fan and you got to get it.
I mean, yes. Yeah. I mean, at least for me, it grew on me. The first time I listened to it, I was depressed for days because I was mad that it wasn't as what I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
But the more I listened to it, the more I appreciated it. And then number 4, Alter Bridge, Walk the Sky.
Okay. Great. Alter Bridge has converted another one.
Oh, is this bad?
No, it's great. It's good to like Alter Bridge. I mean, say what you will about Creed, and I won't blame you. And honestly, this album was surprisingly okay to me.
Well, so, and that's a glowing review. Yeah. I had already forgotten that it was Creed. Yeah. So thanks for ruining that.
No, it's actually pretty heavy, and I gotta say again, Miles Kennedy is a very, very talented singer. His vocals range goes from what we used to hear in the 80s with like Axl Rose to like kind of like more modern stuff now. And also he plays guitar at the same time. So I think it's not a bad idea to put them on a list. It's just they have just create with a different singer and it's working.
All right, I'm gonna move on to number 3. Pixies, Beneath the Eyrie.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm really happy you got converted to the Pixies.
Oh, yeah.
This was Caroline's first time hearing the band.
It was, and I fell right in love. I don't even have notes with this one. I just said I don't even need to explain myself here.
Yeah, it's the Pixies. Let's explain. It's dark and quirky at the same time. That's really what they're about. And I think like what Frank Black's doing with the others and all that stuff is just really alternative callbacks. But at the same time, it's a little modern, I would say. I'm really glad you like them, and I'm really hoping that you listen to their older stuff as well.
Yeah. Definitely. Number 2, Dragon Force, Extreme Power Metal.
Okay, this is one of your praises rating albums.
Yeah.
You know, it really changed your life.
I loved it so much. I loved it so much. And again, I feel like I don't even need to really explain myself. Like, if you listened to the episode where I talked about this, it was just all wonderful things.
Yeah.
I remember there being like one thing that like wasn't my favorite, but didn't take away from how much I loved it still.
It wasn't even the Celine Dion cover. You liked that?
No,
too.
I liked it. Yeah. I liked it a lot.
And the length of the songs, the intricate metal, like, solos so you loved, like his high-pitched screaming vocals. They're doing the same thing over and over again, and when a person discovers them for the first time, it's just like same reaction for them that I got when I first heard them, and I really encourage everyone to like get your fill. All right, so
number 1.
No surprise to me, but we're gonna surprise everyone out there. Number 1 album is Agnostic Front. No, all right, go ahead.
Mountain Goats.
Yes,
in League
Mountain
with
Goat.
Dragons, of
You're
course.
a big fan of them.
Oh my gosh, and this was
17 albums in.
Yeah, I loved this album. Every single song is perfect.
Okay.
And I think this one and Goths, the album that came out a few years ago, are like some of their best.
All right, that was both surprising and entertaining lists at the same time.
Hooray.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is my top 10 albums of 2019. All right, coming in at number 10 is Vampire Weekend and their album Father of the Bride. This album, I think, is very diverse indie pop music with elements of like folk and country that they had, as well as like they have like these kind of soulful Beatlesque like uplifting pop songs like This Life, like, you know, that bouncy guitar they have going on. And I really like that springtime wedding like musical theme that they had, which contrasted like the kind of darker lyrics like about love, politics, and existentialism. Like the reason like this album is not higher, because I have to be honest with myself, like the music is not my go-to, but I recognize the talent. I want to say also Ezra, the singer of the band, lucky son of a bitch. As you know, he's dating or married to Rashida Jones, but unfortunately for Rashida Jones, I'm married, so
I know.
Sorry for her.
Yeah.
But
he was the backup.
Yeah, he's like, well, I guess I'll deal with him, you know. All right, number 9 is DJ Shadow and his album Our Pathetic Age. Now, this one, if you remember, we reviewed it's a double album. It's like one disc is all instrumentals. The second disc features like guest rappers and artists. So the first half, I think, it's very relaxing, like, you know, trance, ambient, and sometimes house and hip hop instrumentals that he does so well for it since the 90s. Not so much background noise, because I think if you're at a party and you put it on, people will notice it and like, who is this? And then acknowledge it, who it is, and they're like, oh, I'm intrigued. And then the second disc like showcases all the creative sampling, and like it's so scratch-tastic at times, and it features like rappers that you know, like Nas, Wu-Tang Clan, De La Soul on certain tracks, Run the Jewels on a track, and then we get underground rappers on there that I never heard of. Gift of Gab, Rockwell, Knuckles. Last song has Sam Herring on there, and I think every person that was on a song like brought their A game with the theme of the album, as well as like their flow and everything like that. Number 8 is Korn in their album The Nothing. Now they continue with like the mixture of like that gloomy groove new metal and that sinister guitar riff. Their signature sound. When you hear a Korn song, you know it's them. And they're still doing it. The last album they did, The Serenity of Suffering, this album is pretty much like the exact same thing. But the only difference is Jonathan Davis is like really displaying his mental like anguish and his depression from like his wife's passing away, and then songs like Cold, Finally Free, and This Loss really showcase that. Now, similar to like Christopher Walken and his cowbell obsession, when I first heard the last album, I'm like, I could have used more bagpipes. And like, right. He does it. First track, bagpipes, crying. And then every song is just like heavy and like dark and like fieldy. The bass player has got some loose bass lines that we love about Korn. So I'm like, damn, Korn is definitely back. They didn't make my list 3 years ago, so I gotta give them respect, and I'll put them on there. Number 7, Boogie, and his album Everything's for Sale, and that was his debut album. This is a Compton rapper, and he's on Eminem's label Shady Records. And like what I remember we both loved about this album, it was so mellow with like the soulful hip hop that like was surprisingly intellectual at the same time. Like, and it breaks the stereotype of young rappers like with their like lascivious like, you know, lyrics. And the commentary like on hip hop that he has and the meaningless mainstream rap on that song Self-Destruction, where he's like, I don't even have any words for this, blah, 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 blah. Because he's also like talking about that he has problems as well, and he understands it. Like that song where he's with his like girlfriend, that Baby Mama drama song called Who's Fault, and you hear her yelling at him, and he's like, I'm not picking up my son, blah, blah. They're going back and forth. I was like, damn, this is really hitting hard. I'm looking forward to like what he's got coming next time, because I think he has it, where he can make like a monumental record and possibly the Kendrick of his generation going forward, although he's not too much younger than him anyway. Number 6, Norma Jean and their album All Hail. Now, I've never been wrong about a band so badly on their previous album. Like, when I listened to the review of the last album they did, Polar Similar, I cringed at how much I was trashing that album. Maybe I was angry that day, I don't know. But this is such a brutal arrangement of post-hardcore and metalcore. Like, all those delicious, like, breakdowns, along with, like, Corey Pootman's, like, constant yelling. Remember? Constantly screaming every song. With that mixed together, there must be casualties at their shows all the time. Because it gets you so amped. I love the energy of the tracks like Trace Levels of Dystopia. And that gut-punching song, Safety Last. Like, yeah, it's a great record by them. And it's really surprising that it's only 2 people that are official members. And they're just, like, pulling in other people to round out like the recording process, and they're just killing on that record. All right, top 5 now. Swimmers with their album Berkeley's on Fire. Now, this is like a young California band who are surprisingly blending like 70s-esque Brit post-punk with like their modern pop-punk sound. But like you get songs like Trash Bag Baby and April and Houston that still have like this current like pop rock vibe. And then you get a song like Hellboy, which has like this garage punk oriented sound. So they're like putting all the different things into this like melting pot, and it's to me working. Like the thing I like about it most is like the guy's lead singer's name was Cole Becker, and like his pseudo like English vocals, like I have this like quirkiness 80s new wave vibe to it, like Talking Heads, Fishbone, whatever like that. Like the song Lose Lose Lose, I fucking love that. Like it's so weird. I just miss that about music. And at the same time, lyrically the album's dealing with like social and romantic issues, so it's, as you would call it, surface level deep. But when you look at the fact that they're born in like the late 90s, if that, it's just amazing that they're tackling like, you know, subject matters that when I was their age I wouldn't have gave a about. All right, number 4 is The Faint, and their album is called Ego Work. And they're the indie dance rock band, and they return with like their more synthy, new wave driven record, and I think it's still amazing. Like the club beats from the tracks like Chameleon Nights, or my favorite song on the album is the title track, along with like singer Todd Fink's robotic vocals, will have you jamming in your car or busting out some moves on the dance floor at the discotheque. I think that's what they call it. And yeah, it's just I do miss when they were more of a dance punky band, but I think this album, or maybe the songs, might have called for more of like this synth wave sound, and it's fun. Like it. All right, number 3 is Pup, and their album is called Morbid Stuff, and they're the Canadian band, and they're blending like the indie rock, emo, and punk, and it's almost a breath of fresh air to me, even though I'd compare them like younger Weezer or younger Brand New. And I think they have such energy and skill with their poppy to aggressive musicianship while containing like dark lyrics about self-loathing, potential murder, wishing death on your ex, and family conflict and more. And I really think what really is drawing like people into the band and why this particular album is making other lists is that the gang vocals that they do is so chaotic but catchy at the same time on all their albums. Like just lengthy lyrics for choruses and it just gets stuck in your head anyway. Number 2 is Anderson .Paak and his album Vinter. Now, I was a little skeptical because he just put out an album last year, so I'm like, all right, you should really let your albums breathe and then do another one, but he proves that he's a king of modern throwback soul and cookout jams. And instead of sounding like Oxnard B-sides, which was the last album, like this album is like an eclectic blend of hip-hop, R&B, and the funk that doesn't like copy his previous work. Like the guest artists like Andre 3000, Smokey Robinson on there, and Brandy, they're utilized to their full potential. I'm still amazed how he brought Nate Dogg back from the dead for that last track. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm really amazed how, like, you know, talented he is.
Yeah. I completely forgot about that album. I remember really, really liking it.
What's number 1 going to be? Is it going to be one you said? It's going to be something different. Number 1 is Slipknot with their album We Are Not Your Kind. And this album fucking slaps! And I'm not a fan of Slipknot. I've heard all 6 of their albums. And I will say they are unable to make a bad record. And this album is like a culmination of all their old school brutal like the first album and then Iowa, which I think is their best work. Then they put like the eventual alternative metal sound that they did on the 3rd album. Then they branch out into like different sounds, like that doom metal song, A Liar's Funeral, or those creepy songs, remember on the album, like Spiders and My Pain. Like the first song you hear, Unsainted, like the music's coming together, like, you know, a choir singing, and then it builds, and then all of a sudden it's like heavy, and it goes back to that chorus again. It's like, damn, this album is going to be amazing. You know it. But then you're just getting like the heavier stuff that reminds you of old stuff, new stuff. Corey Taylor is a phenomenal metal singer. Like he can sing, he can scream, and then he could like do a side product at the same time. It's just, he was given a gift, like, you know, the Robert Johnson or like the Kurt Cobain of his time. But he passed the age of 27, so he did something right. And it's just like, my God. Like, this album is incredible, and I'm sure it's made a lot of lists, and everyone's saying how great it is. So, there you have it. There's my top 10 in 2019. So, you guys out there, you heard our list, and if there's any albums on there that didn't make our list, it doesn't necessarily mean that it sucked. It just means that we didn't hear it. So, let us know, like, what you would have put on your list, and give us suggestions of albums that we should listen to, so that maybe next year we can actually put some albums you like on our list. We appreciate that. Let us know. Put them in the comments below. Thank you. Happy New Year.